YouTube, what's going on? Appreciate y'all watching my videos. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'm trying to line up my trailer here. I'm at this place. I have to drop my trailer to get unloaded. You gotta drop your trailer to get unloaded. I think I'm gonna be here for a while. I'm gonna be here for a while. YouTube, what's going on? Appreciate y'all watching videos. Trying to find another load. Let me find another load. What's going on? Hold on, y'all. I gotta drop this trailer. Hold on. Well, y'all can come along. Y'all can come. Come on. Bring y'all along for the ride. Sorry about that, y'all. I was looking at the load board. Looking at the load board. Yeah. So we done dropped the trailer. Oh shoot, the load board blowing up. We done dropped the trailer. Trailer gone. Trailer is gone. I gotta park over here somewhere. Load board blowing up. Get rid of the SFI mud flaps. I was thinking about painting them black. Ain't no point in buying new mud flaps just to be buying them. You know, that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. You know, damn. Come on now, give me another load. If I could find a load picking up later on today, that'll give me maybe a $1,200 day. Something like that. $1,200 day. This pallet load is like 70 miles for $500. I looked up and found this load on the board. Snyder is good. I mean, they all right, depending on what you're looking for. It depends on what you're looking for. Uber screwed me on my first. I mean, Uber, they all right. I mean, if you go back in my videos, when I first got my authority and I started pulling Uber loads, one of my second loads was a terrible load. But Uber, they take care of you, man. They'll take care of you. You know, they'll pay you the what's the name on it? And damn. I can't book this load. Damn. It sucks when you see a load that you can't pick it up on time and it pay good. Oh well, another load pop up on the board. But like I was saying, like if you go back in my videos, you know, sometimes when you have mishaps with Uber, you know, if you know they pay TONU, they pay you $200 TONU plus the deadhead miles to pick up the load. I've had like about $450 in TONU before. And then right after that, I booked another load. Right after that. I was looking at the load board. Another load popped up. I got the $450 TONU plus I think the load paid like $700. So I got 400 plus the 7. You know, I don't mind pulling Uber loads. They take care of you, you know. They don't have to do what they do. Sometimes I'll call Uber Freight customer service, and I'll have a load and I'll have an issue with a load, and I'll complain about the load, And sometimes they'll throw $25, $50 on the load. They don't do it all the time. It's just sometimes you just get lucky. You call them up and complain about it. Oh man, I've been sitting here waiting for 5 hours. Oh man, I had to drive. I got lost. I had to drive around the block. I couldn't find the customer. The freight too heavy or something. All kind of things that go down with the freight and the customer. So I call them up and say, hey, and so the lady on the phone, she'll be like, okay, I'll send the account manager a message, and they'll get back to you. And then maybe an hour or two later, 3 hours later, they'll call me and say, hey, I'm sorry you're having issues with the load. We're gonna go ahead and put $25 on the load. We're gonna put $50 more on the load, or whatever the case may be, And it don't happen all the time, but it's happened to me. Wayne Polar said, after you experience the experience, what he said? Wayne Polar said, after you experience with It's Not a Choice Board, would you recommend someone to start there or just go straight on their own? It depends. It really depends. Because you really can't give a straight answer like that. It really depends. It really depends. It really depends. Okay, for example, if you got a business background, like I've talked to some guys who ex-accountants who got into trucking. I've talked to guys who were they used to run like a small donut shop. I talked to one guy, he owned a donut shop. I talked to a guy, he used to own a I think he was an accountant or something like that. If you have previous business experience, because when you go and get your own truck and trailer, 80% of getting your own truck and trailer is business. You got to know like how to run a truck like a business, because the truck and trailer is a business. Okay. And if you're not a business savvy person, your chances of making it is not as good as somebody who know how to drive a truck. Because you knowing how to drive a truck, when you were owner operator, I mean, anybody can learn how to back a truck. That's cool. But running a business and knowing how to keep up with costs and insurance, negotiate with brokers, running the truck when you don't have to or when you don't want to, okay? Doing what you have to do to keep your truck running, that's running the truck like a business. If you understand what that means and the responsibility of running the truck, I mean, you can go to truck driving school and go get your own truck and trailer. It's mostly business, so it just depends. But if you a type of person that's like coming from a white collar job and you don't know nothing about like business, you don't know how to drive a truck, you don't have a mechanical background, you don't have no cash in the bank, you might want to slow that down and be a company driver for a little while, and so you can bring yourself up to speed. You might want to slow that down a little bit. You might want to slow that down. So when I say it depends, that's an open statement. It's an open question. It's not simply just saying, yeah, man, do this, do this, do this, because everybody level of everybody is able, depending on the type of person you are. Some people may be inclined to, learn quicker than others, or learn faster than others. So, like, hell, if you got if you was a diesel mechanic in another career and you want to get into trucking, that could help you. Having previous diesel mechanic experience could help you, because if your truck break down on the side of the road, you know how to figure that out. You got previous diesels. You can go out there if you got diesel mechanic experience. You can go out there and buy a $10,000 truck, rebuild a truck, very cheap. Go buy a trailer, rebuild a trailer, and and go out there and be successful. So it just depends on your skill set and what you're able to do. Okay, and so if you fresh out of college, dumb as a doorknob, don't know nothing, I don't know if I could suggest somebody to go get their own truck and trailer, because I know I make this thing look easy, but I got a lot of experience. I got a lot of life experience beyond this truck. I'm not saying I'm a big truck mechanic, but I consider myself a decent business person. I consider myself mechanically inclined. I can fix on things. I make good decisions. I try to make good decisions, and I can go on and on. So you have to look yourself in the mirror and assess your skill set and decide on whether, if it's something that you can handle. If you asking that question, more than likely, you probably need to go and lease on somewhere, or be a company driver for a little while, because there's just certain things as a company driver that a mega carrier is going to teach you is going to become very valuable when you go out there and get your own truck. Just learning how to be profitable, learning how to manage your time management, learning how to run your logbook, and learning how to do trip planning and stuff like that. And I'm to the point now. I don't want to brag. I don't want to throw shots or nothing like that. But I'm to the point where I don't look at a map no more. I don't look at a map. So, when I look at the load board, generally in the Southeast, I got an idea what loads are going and where they're going and what cities and stuff. But if see, the thing is if you fresh out here in trucking, you're going to spend a lot of time. When you call up just put it this way, when you call up a broker, you got to be fast, right? You can't be pussyfooting around and looking at your map and all that. You got to be quick. So when you call a broker on a load and you see the load on the board, you call the broker and you say, okay, I got a load going from here to here. I'm calling on the load going from here to here. What are the details of the load? You got to be quick. You can't be saying hold on, let me check my deadhead. How much deadhead I got? You got to be quick. And so you got to know the area and know where the freight like if you got a load going to a certain area, well, you got to know the area that the freight is going to, and you got to know where cities are in relationship to, you know, highways, and, you know, whether the load makes sense for you to take, because you don't want to take a load into a city or into the mountains in the backwoods somewhere in the rolling hills and flip your truck over, you know, because I've done that. Now, I ain't flipped no truck over, but I'm saying, like, I've taken loads without looking at the map, and, you know, you got caught with your pants down because you booked that load and you didn't look at the map. You ran the load. You started looking at the map. And you're like, oh man, this load way up in the mountains, and it's in the. If that was the case, you should have negotiated some more money on the load and see. It's a lot of things as a company driver when it comes to knowing the layout of the land, okay, that you're gonna learning your log books, learning where trucks can and can't go. And so generally when I'm booking loads, I try to stay close to the interstate. So when I'm booking a load in a city, I try to book loads to cities close or off the interstate within 50 miles of the interstate. I don't want to go way off the interstate in the woods somewhere. I like to be right off the interstate, 10, 15, 20 miles off the interstate. You go to the warehouse, get loaded, go to the next place, you get empty, and you move on. And that's how you constantly make money. But the thing is like, when you're a company driver, these are the things you're gonna be learning. Now, if you don't have previous general trucking experience, like learning how to back the truck, learning how to make a turn, knowing the dynamics and how the truck and trailer operate, and when you're driving down the road, and knowing how to decide whether you should run a load in bad weather or not. It's just a lot of things like in trucking, a lot of people don't talk about, and like, you know, it's just basically, I'm just saying you just need more experience, you know, more experience. And so like I was saying, you just got to look yourself in the mirror and decide whether you feel that your skills is worth taking that leap. Me personally, if you never ever been around trucks ever in your life, you never been behind the seat of a truck, you never you never ran a business, you never done your own taxes, you never negotiated on the load, you never done nothing when it comes to trip planning and figuring out a best route to run a truck or something like that. I don't know. You might want to go ahead and be a company driver or lease on for a little while, you know. So that it's a lot to that, you know. I mean, there's some guys that just run out there and just do it, but I don't recommend it. So Adrian says, do you find it better to book after you unload? No, that's not a good idea. I'm usually a load or two. I usually book 1 or 2 loads ahead. Usually. Unless, and see that goes back to what I was saying, experience. Like, you got to know the areas. And so there's certain areas I don't recommend waiting to the day of to book a load. I don't recommend that. Most of the time when I book a load, I'll book a load. Well, I won't book the load. I'll look at it, and then I'll pull up the city that the load is going to and see what's going on in that area. And if I see a load that I like, and then I'll back it up, and then I'll book that load, and then I'll book the next load. So I have, that way I know I have a load when I get to that area. And so generally it's a juggling act, because you don't know how long it's going to take you to get unloaded at this place. You don't know how long it's kind of like it goes back to experience. And so, like, if you got a load that's delivering at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then your next load after that don't pick up until noon, well, you got to learn how to gauge on how long it takes for places to get you unloaded. Like, for example, if you deliver into a Walmart, more than likely, if you deliver to a Walmart, you do not want to book a load. Your next load shouldn't pick up. I would say give yourself a good 4 hours before you pick up your next load, a good 4 hours. Because Walmarts, retail places, they take 2, 3, 4, 5 hours sometimes to get unloaded. And so it's just, it comes from experience. It's just straight up and down experience. I don't know how to explain it to you. And so when you book in, like, there are times where I book a week out. I'll book a load Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I would just say it's just by sheer luck that I make all those loads on time. But the thing is, it just comes from experience. Like, you got to know these shippers. And so you got to know the receivers. And so a lot of it is just straight up and down experience. And so, like, there's some places that I go to all the time. And so I know down to 10 minutes that how long it's going to take me to get unloaded. And so I can book loads real tight. You know what I mean? And so, you know, it's just some places, you know, it's going to take long. So your next load, you know, I'm usually booked 2, 3 loads out. And so I try not to, you know, book that much. But sometimes when them loads are sitting there like that, when you go on the load board and all the loads are just lining up together, you book a load, okay? And then you pull up the next city that the load is going to, and you be like, damn, it's a load right around the corner. It's like 10 mile, 15 mile deadhead. Either you book it off the Uber load board, or you call the broker up on the load, and like he gives you the rate card. And so then you look up the next city, and then you look in that city, it's like, oh man, it's another load. You booked that one too. And so sometimes loads just line up that way. But yeah, I never wait. I rarely wait till the day of to book a load unless it's in the area that I know that's got a lot of freight. So like right now, I'm in Birmingham. I know Birmingham has got a decent amount of freight, and I got a good chance of finding a load that's picking up today, that's delivering tomorrow. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a load that's picking up today, that's delivering tomorrow. And it's like a handful of places that I know that do that. And more than likely, it's going to be a paper bale load, a water load, a beer load. No, not a beer load. Not a beer load. A pallet load. It's either going to be a pallet load, because pallet places are 24/7. Paper bales are 24/7. Paper bale places, paper recycling places, they're usually, 24 hours a day. You come in there and they always open 24 hours. 2 o'clock in the morning, they in there recycling paper. Pallet load, some places are 8 to 5, but I know in Birmingham, it's a handful of places that I know that run loads on that have got short loads, loads going 100, 200 miles for $500. That's what I'm looking for right now, because it's Friday. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's just sheer experience, just straight up and down experience. So, like, you learn, like, companies like Schneider, you learn a whole lot from companies like that. They you know, they teach you how to be patient. They teach you how to be they teach you how to run a truck. You just get that experience over and over again, trying stuff over and over again, trying stuff over and over again. That's the experience that you're looking for. Now, when I say Snyder teaches you how to do stuff, I don't mean literally Snyder like sit you down in the class and teach you stuff. It's just through that experience, dealing with that load board, having the freedom to do whatever you want to do, you get that experience to try stuff out over and over again. And through that, you learn how to do stuff. So, you know, you running in different areas, you learning how to watch the load board and you know, you bump your leg a little bit, you bump your head, and some weeks gonna be good and some weeks gonna be bad, and you just try over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. And so when it's time to get your own truck and trailer, you know how to run a truck, you know. You will really know how to run a truck. So, but I mean, that's my opinion. That is my opinion. Macon, Georgia. No, I don't go no Macon, Georgia. Trevona, what board I'm on? I usually have about 3 or 4 boards going at the same time. I be on Uber Freight board. I be on Convoy board. I be on XPO load board, CH Robertson load board. I be on Celadon load board. Celadon got a nice load board. Swift got a nice load board. Warner's got a nice load board. Knight Logistics got a load board. TQL got a nice load board. Coyote, I mean, sometimes I have 3, 4, 5 load boards going at the same time. I have the tabs on my tablet, and I just check the load board and see what they got. Refresh, and see what they got. Well, I go to the next load board. I go to the load board, refresh. Oh, I don't see nothing. I go on the DAC board, refresh. And I'm looking for specific loads that go into certain areas, you know, and, you know, specific loads that's picking up at specific times, because I don't want no afternoon pickup and I don't want no afternoon delivery. I'm looking for all loads that's picking up in the morning and all loads that's delivering in the morning. I want AM appointments. That's all I'm looking for. I don't want no late night appointments. The only time I take a late night appointment unless I pick it up in the morning and deliver it in the same day at night. But if the load delivers it the next day, I want that appointment delivering in the morning. That's what I'm looking for. And I need the load to pay. I'm looking for specific loads that pay. And I just keep looking for loads that pay. And so I'm looking for loads that pay the best money I can get, you know, $1,000, $1,100, $1,200. I'm looking for loads that's paying $1,000 a day. That's my number. You know, a lot of times I don't get it, but you know, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it. That's what I'm looking for. I don't settle for nothing less. You know, that's what I'll be looking for. And so sometimes you only can get $800 for the day. You looking all over the load boards, you calling up brokers and calling. It's like the best load you can get for the appointment that you want is paying $800. You're just gonna have to take that load and move on to the next one, you know. 757 Trucking, 44. You give good information on trucking investments. Yeah, man. You know, I just tell the truth, you know. I just tell the truth. I just tell the truth. I tell the truth. Well, I don't want to say I tell the truth. I just give my opinion. Let me just say that. because the truth ain't always the truth all the time. Sometimes the truth is just my opinion. Did I wait at the shipper? I think it took me like an hour and a half to get loaded this morning. It ain't take too long. For your videos are very inspiring, informative, especially why everyone else is saying it's too difficult. It's just not worth having your own authority right now. Yeah, I think just guys want this business to be easy. And so you got a group of guys out here that's used to the freight market to be like flooded, and they just want to just jump on a load board, call on any random broker and get $20,000 on the load to go 500 miles. But now you're gonna have to actually work. You're gonna have to do some work. you have to do some work, you know. Do you know a good CDL loader? You got a ticket. I would check out these people here. They cheap, you know. Let me see. Let me pull it up. I would check these people out right here. I would check these people out right here. I would check these people out right here. Driver's legal plan. Driver's legal plan. It's about $13, $14 a month. I mean, you can pay for the whole year, one flat fee. But from my experience, I've gotten a couple tickets thrown out, and you got to do your due diligence. So like I've gotten a couple bogus tickets and I got them thrown out, but you gotta do your due diligence. So it's nothing complicated. You just type up a statement, and I went and took pictures of the area and tried to prove my point, and then they assign your case to a lawyer, and they go to that court and fight for you. And so I've gotten a few tickets thrown out. So if you're a truck driver, you get a $300, $400, $500 ticket. It's worth it. You know, it's worth it. It sure is worth it. You know. $38. I wouldn't do the $38. I would do the driver's legal. I mean, I had great. I've had them for like a long time. I've had them since 2010, 2009. I had them a long time. And with these people, they've helped me keep my license extra clean, because I've gotten a few tickets over the years, and they've been able to get the ticket thrown out. Because sometimes, you know, officers, they could have their heads stuck up their behind, and so sometimes you just got to go ahead and fight them on that. You know, and sometimes you just got to fight them, because sometimes, you know, these cops, they act like they you know, big and bad, and they want to bully you around and give you this ticket for nothing. And so, for the price, you know, I think it's a good price, and I think it's a good price, 13, 14 bucks a month. Fofo, do you ever have to get a beer permit? How long is a beer permit valid for? You know, I'm not even sure. I'm assuming it's a year, just like every other permit. You have to renew it yearly. I'm assuming. I'm sure you got to go through some compliance process and insurance requirements or something like that. But I don't run in states that require beer permits, so I'm not absolutely sure. That's right, man. $500, 7 miles. When I was at Snyder, I used to get them loads like that all the time. They had these loads on the Snyder board paying $500-600 to go 20 miles. You know? Trying to get 4 or 5 of them in a day. I mean, it's possible, but the places, they gotta unload you quick enough. If they don't unload you quick enough, then, you know, let me go up here and see if they're working on my trailer. Okay. I just want to pull up a little bit so I can see my trailer. I can see my trailer from here. Pull up a little bit. That's what I said, man. I wish I would have got my authority a long time ago, man. Wish I would have got my authority a long time ago. But that's the deal, man. It you know, it is what it is. It's you know, God just said you weren't ready for it yet. So, you know, he didn't bless you with it yet. You've been cleaning up the short game. What could cause an ABS light to come on? You know, I'm not even sure about that, but I know like I'm trying to think of some things, but I can't think of none. Um like sometimes when a sensor activates or something like that, I get like a ABS light, like if I hit the brakes hard or something like that, or you know, all kind of little things like that. I mean, I'm trying to think, but I mean, I'm not absolutely sure. I mean, you know, I'm not absolutely sure, but I know like some of it is just maybe you hitting the brakes too hard or something. I don't know. Do I book my own loads? Who's asking these questions? I just got approved for my first truck and going to get ready to get. Yeah, man, congratulations. Go get that truck and trailer. I'm in school now. We're working on a lab test. Secondly, do drive-in accept partials? You can put whatever in your drive-in that you can put in it. You can put whatever is in your drive-in, whatever you want to put in it. What do I think about Uber Freight? As much as I talk about Uber Freight in my videos, I would think it's good. Yeah, y'all having some conversations talking about reefer loads. I don't know what y'all talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I ain't been up to Youngstown, Ohio in a long time. It's been a while. It's been probably since it's been a minute. Like the Akron, Ohio area and Cleveland and it's been a while since I've been up there. You got both. Oh, you saying you got a reefer and a drive-in? Just got my own truck waiting on a BOC3 to book a load. Waiting on a BOC3. Waiting on a BOC3. That don't make sense. Waiting on a BOC3. Although you need a BOC3 to get your authority, but the BOC3 is just a component of the process. But okay. But I fold a place that would rent to own a trailer. Oh, you found a place that would rent the trailer with no credit check or business length of time. Oh yeah? What's the name of that place? Email me that place, 404truck@gmail.com. I've been looking for a place that do that. I've been looking for a place. Come up here, 044. I'll let you hold a reefer so you can run these 250 miles and pay $2,000. I bet they do. You right off I-80. Can you do all short loads for the week and make 5,000 gross? or what's the mix up of long and short? It's possible. How lows are playing? I mean, down here in the South is saturated. So, down here in the South is really saturated. So, you could probably do that like up north, or maybe in the Midwest. You know, I know you can do 1,000 a day in the Midwest, running 200 and 300 mile loads. It's hard to say because I don't run the Midwest that much, but it's possible. It's possible. It's a lot of other things that go into it. Alex Stevens says, you can't book a load without it, right? Well, the thing is, where I'm confused is when it comes to the BLC3, the BLC3 is just the BLC3 is just a glorified registered agent, you know? And so I'm trying to think, like, as far as the BLC3 is concerned, like, how would that stop you from booking a load? How that would stop your MC number from becoming active? Because generally, as long as you have insurance on file, and you waited 21 days, your MC number should go active. And you can call up a broker, give them your MC number. They look you up in the database. Okay, your MC number is active. You can pull freight. So having a BLC3, I don't know if that's a integral component of you being able to book loads. So I'm just trying to understand the levels to the authority being active. You get what I'm saying? Your MC number going live. You need insurance on your authority so it'll go live. You know? So with LLC, 2,000 for 250. You ain't getting 2,000 for 250. I've seen reefer loads down here in the South on the load boards posted for $1,600 to go 300 miles down here in the South. So I'm more inclined to believe William Parker. I'm more inclined to believe him. I'm not saying that he lied, but I could believe him because you got to catch the load. You got to catch those loads. They're not sitting on the board like 3-4 days ahead. Those $1,500 to $2,000 loads that's paying $1,500 to $2,000. Those are day of loads. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, like a lot of those loads are day of loads. So like look at this load right here. These are 2 reefer loads going 400 miles for $1,200. Hold on, I gotta get y'all out the sun. Hold on. Youngstown. Because I keep flying over in Florida. That's got a posted rate. Because a lot of these loans you gotta call them. You gotta call the broker. You gotta call the broker. These loans are not banging, but I mean they pay decent. But I mean I'm inclined to believe when I've seen those loans. Those loans when they post, you gotta be right there on the loan. And like those loans go so fast. And so like most people will never see those loans because if you're not watching the loan program, you will never see those loans because they go so fast. You gotta have brokers who speed down. You gotta freshen the wood. All right, so here's Youngstown, Ohio. There's a loan there for $1,200. That loan going 345 miles for $1,200. Well, it's actually $1,300. Look, this loan went up to $1,500. This loan went up to $1,500. I was just looking at it. Just looking at it. Just go here. 1,500 for 430 miles. 430 miles. 1,500. That's a big loan for us. I'm inclined to believe it. I can see that loan going to about 1,600. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Make me shit. But I mean, it's this, you know. This trucking man, spot, you know, spot. to push and hope and right? But then you don't have the money to go and do stuff that you want to do. And I'm not just talking about simple everyday stuff. I'm not talking about mediocre lifestyle. I'm not talking about $50,000 a year lifestyle. Upper class lifestyle. That's what I'm talking about. I can afford a car. I can afford any car I want. I can go buy $100,000 Benz. You know, but the thing is like, you know, you gotta find like I know for me, I find comfort in having cash in the bank. You know that, you know, I can walk in the Macy's and just about buy anything. And there's a certain level of stability that I have. You know, just knowing that okay, if I'm not working for a couple months, you know, it ain't gonna bother me that much. You know what I mean? So, and so if, like, the thing is, guys who go on the road all the time, but they're not wrong. You know, why you go home from? Why you I don't get that argument before. It's just like, why you go home? You got a truck. Why you go home? You are in the trucking business. Your business is to truck unloads. You need to find another business to get into. You need to get into structure or something. You need to get into a barbershop, cut grass or something. You need to get into go back to college or something because you can't go buy a truck and then want to be home. That don't go together. You can't be in a truck and want to be home. You gotta give up on the other one. You can't do that. Especially right now. Season's about to pop off. And chicken season about to pop off. Guys, cutting these loads. Guys, even in the slow season. You see, all the guys who making money, making above average rates, they don't make YouTube videos. Okay, they don't make YouTube videos. They don't post them. The guys that's doing bad, that don't have a good relationship with brokers, they're the ones who cry. It's a catch-22. This is one of those things where you got guys that's promoting bad stuff in the marketplace. Niagara Waters, like some of the Niagara Waters, they got loads coming on all day. I know like three brokers that I know three brokers that ship freight out Niagara Waters plus those that you know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all can't hear me. My bad. I had the phone on the phone by the AC vent right here. With LLC, can't believe it. Let me explain something to you with LLC. Let me explain something to you. Those loads that drop on the board that's going 250 miles, 300 miles for $1,500, $2,000, those are spoof loads. Those loads don't sit on the board that long. To get that load, you gotta be refreshing the board like every 2-3 seconds. You gotta be refreshing the board. So when that load hits the board, you gotta be that guy to grab that load. That's how you get those loads. That load ain't gonna sit on the board all day. Okay, that load is sit on the board for 10 seconds, 5-10 seconds. And so what you gotta understand, you never see those loads because you're not as diligent as finding those loads like William Parker. You get what I'm saying? So I see those loads like that all the time. Those are reefer loads. I know that. You know, AC blowing. $8 a mile. Oh man. Fix the phone. Yeah, I took it off there, man. AC blowing. Check my email. Oh yeah, he emailed me. All right, let me pull up this email. Yeah, I've gotten a bunch of detention before too. You know, but what a lot of brokers are doing, they're capping the detention at 6, 7, 8 hours. They're putting a cap on it. This long ass live. Yeah, man, you know, that's how we do. Man, quit replying to comments. All right, I'm trying to pull this Raycon up. Let me pull this Raycon up. Yep. Yep, that's exactly how that be coming up. Yeah, that's exactly how they be coming up. Hold on, let me share this screenshot that William Parker's $2,000 load that's going 300, 300. Yeah, I've seen loads like that. Yep. You got to be empty at the right time. Granted, you got to hold a load for like what? The 30th, 31st. You got to hold a load for like 5 days. That's a lot of reefer fuel. You got to park up on the interstate to keep that reefer trailer cool. What temperature you got to keep that freight at? What's the set temp on that? You got to set that. You got to set the set temp. If you got to set the set temp at 0 degrees, you're gonna burn a whole lot of reefer fuel because that trailer gonna be running continuous. Let me see. Yeah, I'm just up here chilling with y'all, man. I'm just up here chilling with y'all. But it'd be some good loads out there. You know, it'd be good loads out there. You know. Here goes some reefer loads right here. You got a list of reefer loads. It's a live board right here. Now this is next week. We early. We late. Well, we about 5 days early on this, so I wouldn't book none of these loads because it's too early. But you know, you got 1,200 to go. 1,200 to go 400 miles. $1,000 to go 250 miles. $4,000. It's a $4,000 load right there. That load going to Oregon. But I wouldn't book none of those loads right now. It's too early. It's way too early. Way too doggone early. I wouldn't book none of those loads. Somebody booked that load for $1,500. Y'all remember that load that was on here? That reefer load? Somebody got that, $1,500. Somebody got it. You just got to keep refreshing the board. It'll be a load that'll pop up there, man, paying $2,000 to go 300 miles. I be trying to tell y'all to get y'all on authority. Y'all think I be playing. Closed mouths don't get fed. Staying home don't get fed. I mean, me personally, I go home and I get bored. It's really no reason for me to go home. It's nothing at home for me. It's the TV, most stuff to do, sweep up the house, do laundry. I got time for all that. They go out here and get some of this money. You got time for all that foolishness. That's right, $800. They ain't 250 miles. Shahid Mostafa, you must know your cost of operation. Even though going 10 miles for $500 is good money, it won't fit me unless I get 2 of them. That's right. I only do short loads unless the load picks up and delivering the same day. I don't want to be sitting on the load like that all day long. That's a waste of time. Ain't no point in running it. It ain't no point in running the load. Because if it costs me $200 just to climb in my truck, it costs me $200. It costs me $200 a day just for my truck to just for me to sit here. Okay? And then I gotta go get the load, go in the shipping office, back into a dock, sit there for 2-3 hours, 4 hours to get loaded, then go to another place, sit there and get loaded for another. You gotta do all that for $500. It ain't even worth it, man. It ain't even worth it. You ain't making no money. After on a $500 load, once it's said and done, you might net after expenses like $200. You ain't made no money. Company drivers make $200. Company drivers make $250 a day. That ain't no money. You got to be making 5, 6. You have to net after expenses minimum 5, 6, 700 a day after expenses. You ain't making no money. You need to be making 3,000, 4,000 after expenses every week to make this thing worth it. You got to. You can't be playing games. Like guys like to act like they work at a bank. You know, you're not a banker, man. You run a truck. You run a truck. You making no money. Yeah, I'm trying to tell him, William Parker, I'm trying to tell him, like, I've been up in the Midwest, over the years, and, there are pros and cons to the Midwest. It's kind of, there are pros and cons to it. You just got to know your areas. You know, I'm trying to find a load here to finish up my day. This load here went 70 miles. I had the deadhead 70 miles to pick it up. So I got maybe about 3 or 4 hours invested into it. So I probably got about 6, 7 hours left on my logbook. And so I'm trying to find another short load to put with it, and that'll finish out my day. I'm trying to find something. Give me something now. Give me something. Let me see what's on the DAC board. What's going on in the DAC board? Okay. Driving. Driving. Birmingham. I don't know, man. I don't see nothing. I don't see anything that I want to do. Let me say it that way. I don't see nothing. Montgomery. Oh, these paper bells. Got paper bell loads on here. Let me see what y'all talking about. My cost of operation is $750 a day for 20 days. Yeah, that's good. And Crybabies, my cost is $163 a day. That's everything, business, home bills, based on 20-day work schedule. Yeah, man. At least y'all know y'all numbers. I don't want to get into a back and forth about who numbers is better, but at least y'all know y'all numbers. Y'all watch my channel, y'all are businessmen, so I know y'all numbers. But I talk to a lot of guys who don't know their numbers. Shaheed Mustafa said, I calculate my fuel cost, then add either $750 or $600 a day. For 3-day loads, I go $750 times 3 plus fuel. Yeah, man, at least you know your numbers, man. I mean, a lot of guys don't even know what their numbers are. They just run the truck and book loads randomly off the board, you know. And they don't even know if they're profitable or not. But I think this video is long enough. We talked about a few things. Where I'm at, I'm in Birmingham, Alabama right now. Where LLC says, I don't see how you don't know your numbers when all the bill man got their hands out. I don't get what you're saying. With LLC, you always talking junk, but I appreciate it, man. You bring a lot of life to my channel. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all watching my videos. But yeah, man, I'm watching my trailer over here. It's still sitting in the dock. So as soon as he pull it out and drop it on the side over there, it'll be time to go. But hey,